Hey everybody, welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast. And we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans, Kat,
And Paul.
with Pikachu and Barney.
I'm sure there are people that are watching this through YouTube now, sitting there going, these guys this is why we come back time and time again. We've actually got 10 subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Well, isn't that awesome?
That is awesome. We've had a couple of episodes that are, there we go. Nice graphics for the people on YouTube. We've had a couple of episodes that have not really landed the way we thought, like the Vardabedian Conundrum. We've only had 2 views on that one,
Yeah, what's up
and
with
the
that, guys?
in the mailbag we only had 5, but that's okay
Well,
because
the
we've got
mailbag was, yeah, the
but
mailbag.
we've got the 10, we've had 10 subscribers. Now, before we get started on the podcast, now we've had emails, we've had a lot of answers for like with all the questions we've actually had. Remember, we're going to be doing that at the end of the month, or actually end of next month. Is it? Yeah, it is. Whatever day it
Um,
was.
wow, it's almost the end of November already.
Yeah, but was it did we do the mailbag at the middle of November or the end of
The
November?
end, the end of October.
We did it at the end of October, did
It's
we?
either the end of October or the beginning of November. I forget
L-
if we're on the last week or the first week that we
Let
do
me
that.
see, because I'm going to go and have a look to see PMS.
Okay,
Okay, so
well, while you're looking that up, I just want to thank Sarah
well,
for sending us a coffee this week.
yes, thank you, Sarah.
That was very nice. That was a lovely surprise.
No, we did the mailbag the 10th of November.
Okay, we were a week late.
Yeah, so we're going to do the 10th of December for that one.
Yeah.
And also just to first of all, I'm wearing the if anyone's watching on YouTube, I'm wearing the Goonies Forever t-shirt, just in case you're wondering. We have had now I did say by the 20th of December, you need to put your interest in if you want to be part of the Christmas draw this year. Now, we've actually had one person that says that they want to be part of the Christmas draw. Now, if you want to challenge this person to the possibility of you winning the prize for this year for Christmas,
Yeah,
you
so
have
far they're the one to beat.
so far they are the one that's going to get the prize if you don't join and decide that you want to be part of the Christmas giveaway. So, if you want to be part of the Christmas giveaway, all you need to do send me an email, put it in, remember, Perpetual Motion Squad. That's all one word, 00, that's the number 00 at gmail.com. And all you got to say is, I want to be part of the Christmas giveaway. And we'll put your name into the draw. So far we've got one person. And if nobody else wants to do it, then that means that they are
That
going to
means
win
they
the
get it
prize.
by default.
Yeah, they'll get the default one. So, yes, as I said, we've had a lot of emails. We've had a lot of responses to questions that have actually been posted up on the Facebook page. We will do that one next month. But as I said, if you want to be part of the Christmas draw, then please send me an email or even, go on, under Spotify and put in the comment section, I want to be part of the Christmas draw so we can add your name.
Or you can even message us through the Facebook pager group.
Yeah, you could do that. So you've got plenty of ways to do it. But remember, the cutoff day is the 20th of December.
And while you're there, join the Facebook paging group.
There we go. See, I love your segue. That's perfect. But yeah. So you've got till the 20th of December to get your interest in for the Christmas giveaway. And remember, everybody, there is a chance you might win it, and it's always good to get free stuff.
Free stuff
So
is my favorite.
and we're offering to give you guys something free for Christmas.
Yeah.
So it won't come until after Christmas possibly because we are actually it will because we are doing the Christmas draw, Christmas Day, our day, Christmas Eve everywhere else in the world. So we're going to do our podcast with the Christmas giveaway on Christmas Day. So in saying that, everyone will be able to watch it. I'm going to put it up on Spotify on the video, and obviously it'll be up on YouTube, so you can actually see that we are not doing anything shady. We're doing it all computerized for the
Yep.
giveaway. Um, but yeah, so you've got into the 20th of
Unless nobody else enters, in which case we don't have to.
December. No, I'm still going to do it just to make sure that everyone can see that it was only one person that did the draw.
Okay, then he's going to put me and Oliver in there too, and we might win.
No, you can't. That's we as host of the show, you can't do it, and as the official puppy of PMS, he can't win it either.
Well,
So
if nobody else enters, I don't see why we can't.
Anyway, everybody, that's what's going to happen. So the 20th of December, she's always trying to throw a curveball at me. I've got it worked out, everyone. Don't you worry. I'm sitting here with an awesome Goonies t-shirt, so it's all good. So yeah, the 20th of December is the cutoff time. So remember, just send me an email, put it in the comments section of Spotify saying that you would like to be part of the Christmas draw, and we'll throw your name in there. But other than that, we are doing season number two, episode 11, and
Yep.
this is the
That
bath
the bath
item
gift
gift
item
hypothesis.
hypothesis.
Now,
The
I would
bath
lo-
gift item hypothesis.
now, what would we think about this episode?
I love this episode. It's one of my favorites.
It is good. It is the okay. Really, it does. Once again, it does show you just how promiscuous that
Penny is.
Penny is, but also just what a bromance the poor old Leonard was suffering.
Right. Okay. I love this
Yeah.
because of the final scene with
Yeah.
the,
Oh, yes,
yeah, which
definitely.
is
Yeah.
where the title comes from.
Yeah.
But also just before that, when Leonard really stands up for himself with
Yes,
Penny.
he does. Yeah, when he goes into Penny's apartment.
And
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
I mean, it's certainly justified, but it really does show you that Penny is extremely promiscuous
Yep.
when it comes to men. And that's why she has men like as Sheldon says, I've seen men after men coming through here, never to return. So but yeah, I look, I like this episode because of the final scene
Yeah.
that you don't see coming, and then it's like, oh my God, it happens. So yeah, I really do love this episode. It's I'd say definitely in my top 20. So
Yeah,
you know,
I do. I love this episode.
yeah. So the episode actually opens up where we're in the Caltech cafeteria, and the boys are talking about the fact that you've got Superman that
How does he clean his
how does he
uniform?
clean his uniform as being Superman? And they surmise that he flies into the yellow sun of Earth and it dry cleans that well, cleans that way. And then they also come up with the idea that what about pit stains, like as in sweat stains? And Sheldon comes back with, well, Superman doesn't sweat on Earth. And they said, well, what about if he
Okay, so
goes
Howard is like, well, what if he gets invited to dinner in the miniature city of what was
Candor,
Candor? So he
mm,
miniaturizes himself, and the king says, "How about a game of netball,
tetherball?
tetherball?" So Superman says yes, and he works up a sweat, and then comes back to Earth
Yeah, with Kryptonian,
in pit
pit
stains,
stains,
armpit stains.
armpit stains, which is basically indestructible. And he's like, well, and because Sheldon, in his genius idea, comes up with, well, no, before he leaves the miniature city of Candor, he takes it to a dry cleaner. And of course, Raj comes back with a Kandorian dry cleaner. You can't have a normal conversation with
You
this
can't
man.
have a serious conversation with this man.
Yeah, exactly. Um, But while this conversation is going on, we see there is a physicist by the name of David Underhill,
Yep.
and he comes into the cafeteria, and he's basically a fellow researcher in experimental physics in the obviously in the
Yep.
scientific world, and the boys are really taken aback by it because he apparently won the MacArthur Genius Grant last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
now before we go on, I
Mm.
want to actually point out that the MacArthur Genius Grant is real. It's a real award.
I thought it was. Yeah.
It's an annual prize awarded by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation to U.S. citizens,
Mm.
typically between 20 and 40, working in any field, who show exceptional merit and promise for continued and enhanced creative work. There is no application process. The award is voted on by an anonymous committee, and the recipient is notified by phone call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, they all go to have a look. And I like it how Howard goes, no, 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 not all at once. And of course Raj's like, well, how? And he goes, Leonard. So Leonard turns around and looks. Now Raj turns around and looks. Now Sheldon
Who
like
meerkats?
meerkats looks at it. And of course I like how Raj goes, I didn't get a good look. Could I go again? And he's like,
No.
no. Then David Underhill comes over and speaks to Leonard. And Leonard absolutely fangirls on this guy.
No, he fanboys.
Fanboys, fangirls. The fact is that he absolutely loses it. He's like, David says, well, Doctor. Dr. Gaberhauser
Yeah.
actually suggested that I maybe work with you. And he goes, would you
That
want
you
to
can
work
help
with
me
me?
out to do some stuff in this one
Yeah.
lab.
And he's like, yeah, have you got some time? And he goes, okay. And he goes,
Here's my cell number. Here's my home number. Here's my parents' number in New Jersey. They always know how to find me.
and it's like, oh my God. And he's like, big fan, you know, and, and of course, one of the big things about this scene is the fact that the scene before, when Sheldon was saying about how he won this genius grant, Leonard comes
Leonard's
back with,
like, oh,
I got
big
two,
whoop.
yeah, I got two words for you. The first is big, the other one's whoop. And Sheldon goes, well, it is a big whoop, you know. So when
It
he,
made all of your work that you've done here since you've been here irrelevant.
yeah, and he goes, and he sort of like stops at mid-sentence. And when he absolutely fangirls on David, when David says, okay, I'll call you, and he goes, oh, bye, and walks away, Leonard turns to the table, and they're all have got that look on their face, their
Like,
judgmental look.
really?
And this is
Eh,
where Leonard goes, "Oh, you've never
what,
seen."
you've never seen a hypocrite before? Now, I'd also like to point out that Dave Underhill is played by Michael Trucco,
Nope.
and he is a part of the 2004 Battlestar Galactica cast, which is one of Sheldon and Leonard's favorite shows.
Well, there we go. I didn't know that he was in Battlestar Galactica.
Yep, the remake, not the
Yeah, not the
original,
original. The
which is
original
still
was
the
the best.
best.
Definitely
Joke's
the
on you.
best. Sorry. So the next scene we see is that we are in the boys' apartment, Sheldon and Leonard's apartment, and we are playing Wii bowling. Now, the best part about this scene is that they've all got matching bowling shirts.
I love the bowling shirts.
And the fact that that Sheldon is actually talcum powdering up his hand.
I
Now,
know.
a lot of people would sit there and say, "Well, that's ridiculous to do." However, when the Wii console was first made, do you know the reason why they included a little strap that went around your wrist?
Because when you go to throw the ball, you throw the
Yeah,
controller.
there were a lot of people around the world who were breaking their TVs because they'd get so engrossed in whatever game they were playing that it would invariably slip out of your hand and hit the TV and break the TV.
Yeah.
Because these Wii controllers, they were actually really sturdy,
They were
you know?
fairly substantial.
Yeah, because I remember we got one for my son.
I like the Wii.
And we actually had it without the little part around the wrist. And it was only about 6 or 8 months later that we were going through a department store and they actually had the ability that you could actually buy the covering that went over the controller and actually had the wrist guard
The
around
strap.
the straps you could actually put it against on your
And
wrist.
one of the things I liked about that too is that the strap had this little thing that you could slide so it actually tightened it onto your wrist.
Yeah, it did.
That
It
was
wasn't
cool.
a one all. You could actually adjust it. So when you see Sheldon putting some talcum powder on his hands, it's a very good idea because it's actually going to, when you start to sweat, it's actually going to stick to more, give you more grip on the actual controller itself.
Yeah.
But we've got Sheldon, Howard, and Raj, and they're playing the Wii bowling. And of course, as right at the moment when Howard goes to do his bowling, this is where Leonard comes in, and the ball like goes to the other lane, which is not possible.
Uh, no, it's not because the character, the avatar,
Yeah,
switched from looking down the lane to looking at the gutters, and that can't happen when you're throwing.
no, I can't. So that was a bit of a mistake.
But sometimes you just can't look too closely at these
Yeah.
things.
But I like it how how it goes do over, and of course Leonard Sheldon's like there is no do over in Wii bowling, you know, and this is where Leonard comes in and they're like, and Sheldon verse says is what was so important that you missed Wii bowling night, and he goes to say something and he goes, it's rhetorical. There is no other thing more important
Rather than
than
we
Wii bowling
bowling.
night, and this is where we find out that Leonard has been hanging out with Dave. Not David, Dave, because he's now got he thinks that they're all friends now. And he says, he's a black diamond skier and he collects vintage motorcycles and he plays in a rock band. And of
And
course,
they're like, well, we play in a rock band.
and he goes, no, we play rock band on our Xbox. I know that's right, because they were talking about Wii bowling. And he says, and we suck at it. And he says, and Sheldon comes back with, wow, that's a great
Not,
motivation for our team captain.
yeah,
And
nice
then he says,
motivational speech from our team captain.
yeah. And then he says about the fact that Dave plays in a rock band. And he goes, well, we play in a rock band. Yeah, we were on our Xbox. And of course, Sheldon comes back with, that's a great motivation for our lead guitarist.
Yeah,
And he, of course, then, Leonard also says that Dave does a great impersonation of Stephen Hawking's having
having phone
sex,
sex.
which have you having phone sex, which doesn't fall anywhere because the boys
No,
don't even understand what he's
it's
talking about.
bad.
And I like it how Leonard goes, well, it's funny when Dave does it. And he says the fact that Dave is going to be taking him to the gym.
So I'm going to go practice my sit-ups.
Yeah. And so he's like, and as he walks away, this is where Howard comes back with, wow, total man crush. Yep, it's a bromance.
Yep, it's an official
Look,
bromance.
and look, there are guys that do, and I know it's silly to say, but there are guys that are envious of other men
Oh yeah.
of what they do. I mean, Kat and I put together the brand new chair that I'm sitting on right now,
Mhm.
and we were taking apart our old cinema chairs because we got new cinema chairs in
Oh, thank
yesterday.
God.
Thank God. Yeah, exactly. Um, but even putting together this chair, it was a great amount of anxiety. And I sometimes really do admire guys that can just build shit and it works. I mean, I was watching this guy on YouTube that decided that he wanted to build a home cinema. Now, quite rightly so, he was a qualified electrician, so all that stuff he could do perfectly. But just the fact that he was able to measure things and saw things and put stuff together and sand things and make it look, and paint stuff. I'm like, man, I wish that I could do something like that. I am not handy at all.
I would just like to point out that
Hmm.
it was high anxiety putting that together for Paul,
Yes, not for Cat.
not for me.
No, no. Cat is. I have a bromance with Cat because Cat can put shit together.
I used to be a professional stagehand.
As I said, for me, it's a total bromance with her. I So yeah, so no, this is why I'm envious of people like David. They can do stuff like that, and they just need to be able to do it. You
It's
know,
not hard.
it is.
And
Put
once
it
you've
this
done
way:
it a few times and gotten some practice under your belt, it really isn't hard.
I have put a lot of IKEA stuff together with you, and I have
Hmm.
more anxiety than anybody.
It takes so
So
long because of your anxiety, honey. If
there
you
we
just
go.
relax and
See,
do it.
exactly right. So the next scene we see is that Leonard is being helped upstairs to the apartment. For some reason, when Leonard and David went out to go motorcycle riding, um, the bike fell onto Leonard's foot, onto his leg. But
Which is rather painful, actually.
yeah, but the fact is that he wasn't actually he wasn't going fast, it wasn't moving. He was literally just taking it off the stand. So taking it off the stand, it actually fell onto, and I like how Leonard goes, oh, it was heavier than I thought. It's like, yeah, it was. As we're going up the stairs, we see Penny is coming down the stairs.
Well, before we get into that,
Yes.
I would like to point out
Hmm.
that owing to his incompetence at riding David Underhill's motorcycle, Leonard tumbles off and it falls on him, resulting in him limping for the rest of the episode.
Yes.
In fact, Johnny Galecki, who obviously is Leonard,
Yeah.
is a keen motorcyclist and owns a Harley Davidson.
Really
Hmm.
nice motorcycle there, Johnny.
Yep.
Like that.
So,
Yeah, I love Harleys. If I could own a Harley, I would, but they're too expensive.
yeah.
So, that's a dream that will never go fulfilled. So.
Not to mention, I'm not sure your back would let you ride that
No, I
much.
could certainly ride it. It's just that owning a Harley is very expensive.
Yeah.
So, but as Leonard is being helped upstairs with by David, Penny's coming downstairs and says, "Oh, what happened?" And he said, "Oh, he had a bit of a motorcycle accident." And Penny goes, "Oh, were you going? What happened?" And of course, Leonard comes back with, "Oh, it was all such a blur."
Yeah.
And we find out, and as Dave
And
says,
Dave starts laughing.
yeah, he couldn't even get it off the stand.
And
And because I love it how Penny immediately goes, and like Dave, when he sees Penny, he's just got that deer in the headlights look towards Penny, which I understand because Penny is gorgeous,
yeah.
and this is where Penny goes, so it's your motorcycle? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, oh, is it okay? And he goes,
Oh, is it okay?
I know. It's like, oh my God, Penny, come on.
Yeah.
So he goes, yeah, it's fine. Do you want to help me upstairs with Speed Racer? So as they're going upstairs, they're having a conversation, and she says, so how do you know Leonard? And he goes, well, I'm a physicist. And she
And
goes,
she
no, you're not.
laughs.
No, you're not. And he goes, why is that amusing? And she says,
She
well,
said, well, all the physicists I know are pasty and
yeah. And look at how
indoor
Leonard
people.
goes, and indoor people, and Leonard goes, I'm not pasty. I just don't take my melanoma.
I just use the proper amount of sunscreen because I take melanoma very seriously.
Yeah. And so as we're going up the stairs, we're still having the conversation about the fact that Penny believes that she is the queen of the nerds. And also does say that she's really into science. And I like it how Leonard goes, since when? And she goes, like, since always, you know. So we get up to the stairs to Leonard and Sheldon's apartment. And this is where Dave actually invites Penny to go for a ride with him. As in because, he actually says, well, I'm working in the lab and, you could always come and see it. And she's like, I've always wanted to see a big
Well,
university
first it's
lab.
I'm really into science
Yeah. And then it's
and
then it's like, I'd
that
like
whole
really,
subatomic thing. And
yeah.
Leonard's like, well, since when? She's like, since always.
Hmm.
And then it's
I've always wanted to see the
just
insides of a
call me Queen
lab.
of the Nerds.
Yeah. And then I've always wanted to see the inside of a lab. And Leonard's like, since
Since
when?
when? Since
Since
always.
always. And
And
this
he's
is
like,
where
well, I've just been inviting you there for the last year and a half.
Yeah, so this is where Dave says, "Well, how about we go and see it now? You know, you can come with me and we can go up the coast and have a little dinner." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, it's okay." And so, you know, as Penny leaves, this is where Dave looks at Leonard and goes, "She's all right, isn't she?" Oh, she'll do. That's right. And he says, "Oh, you're okay with that?" He goes, "No, no, we're just neighbors." And he goes, "I don't know how you could be a neighbor with not doing
How
something,
you can live across from
yeah, not do
that and
something
not
about
do
that."
something about it.
And so he says, well, science
Dave's a
is my
pig.
lady. And I love the science is my lady scenario. I was like,
Yeah.
oh God. So this is where Penny comes out. Now, Kat said something very interesting. Dave is taking her out. Wouldn't you take a purse?
Yeah.
Would you take a bag? For the possibility that he's taking you out, but you're not going out to like, you're going to go and grab something to eat. But there's no guarantee that he's going to sit there and say, when we get there, I will pay for it. You may
Yeah.
have to go 50-50. So, but then again, with Penny, she's eating for free at the boys' apartment. So
Yeah.
the
So,
possibility of her actually buying dinner is pretty,
yeah.
yeah, not going to happen. So as those two leave, and of course, Dave says, I'll see you at work tomorrow. Leonard leans against the door of his apartment and puts his hand, and if you can see it on YouTube, you'll be able to see it, but he actually just like knocks accidentally, like, oh my God,
I
I'm just
thought I
saying.
thought he hit his head back
He put
against
his
it.
head back and then he put his hands down and
Yeah.
it hits the door. Then all of a sudden, Sheldon
Sheldon
opens
comes
the
over
door
and opens the door, and
and you see
Leonard
Leonard fall
falls into the
backwards.
apartment.
And I
I
look at
just
it,
found it interesting that Sheldon was standing to the side instead of in front of the door like you normally
yeah.
would.
Yeah, well, obviously, we're not seeing the fact that at the front of the door or when the door opens, there'd be something for Johnny Galecki to fall onto, like a
Yeah.
mat or something. But I look at how Sheldon opens the door and Leonard
Yeah, but
falls
usually you
backwards.
open it standing in front of it,
You
not to
would.
the side of it,
Yeah.
unless you're expecting somebody to come in.
Yeah. But so Leonard tumbles backwards into the apartment. Look at how Sheldon looks and goes, did you forget your key? I'm like, okay, yep, all right, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So the next scene we see is Penny and Dave are in Caltech cafeteria.
And I'd like to point out this is the first time we see Penny at Caltech.
Yes. Yeah, it is
Yep,
because
it
we
is.
don't we don't see it until Leonard starts to become sad and she starts visiting him
Yeah,
in the
well,
lab.
spoilers, darling.
That's coming down the track. Um, so there's Penny sitting there with Dave, and of course Leonard's coming into the cafeteria, and they usher him to come over to them, and he's like, "Dave, oh, and Penny again," and she says to Leonard that this place is amazing, and he goes, "Yes, I know. I've been trying to invite you to see it for the last year and a half." She's like, "No, no, you haven't." And he goes, "No, because every time I ask you, you
You
always
say you
say
have yoga.
something you were busy and like you're doing yoga." And she goes, "No, I didn't." And he goes, "Oh, it must be my mistake. Everything, a lot of things, a lot of words
Sound
sound like
like yoga.
yoga." And we find out that Dave and Dave and Penny are getting a little bit, fresh, sort of. They've
Hmm.
been doing some
And he
stuff.
said, "Well, I'm thinking of taking Dave says, I'm
Afternoon
thinking of
off.
taking the afternoon off
Yeah.
so I can do an experiment with Penny." And she's like, "Oh, we're going to do an experiment?" And
Uh-huh.
he's like, "Yeah, I want to see what the effect of tequila shots on a gorgeous 22-year-old body."
Yeah, and she giggles and she goes, no, you know what happened last night, and he's like, Leonard's like, please shut up. He doesn't want to hear what's going on, you know,
Hmm.
because she goes, oh, shut up. You know what happened last night. And this is when he goes, please shut up, and he sits down and he says to obviously Leonard wants to continue with the experiment that he's supposed to be doing with Dave, but of course Dave's going to be taking the time off and going with Penny. So this is where they get to leave. They're getting up to leave, and Penny says, "Is it okay if I drive the motorcycle?"
And
And
he's like, "Sure, you can't do any worse than Leonard." Ha ha ha.
yeah, so after that, I think now when was it? When did we see that Penny came in with the gifts? Was it in Wee Bowling or was it after Wee Bowling? It must have been during Wee
It
Bowling
was
because
during Wee
right,
Bowling.
sorry. So we actually skipped over something. So when Leonard goes into his bedroom to practice his sit-ups, Penny knocks on the door and they open it and we find that Penny has gone and says to Sheldon um, about the fact that, are you guys putting up a Christmas tree? And he says no. And Sheldon says no because Sheldon doesn't celebrate Saturnalia
And
because
then goes
it's a
into his
pagan,
big.
it was a pagan ritual or something, wasn't it?
It was basically the pagan holiday, midwinter holiday, when everything had gone into hibernation, and they would bring a living pine bough into the home in sympathetic magic to bring back the light and the warm and the warm.
That's right. And the tradition was later adopted by Europeans in the form of a Christmas
It
tree.
was co-opted by Christians.
Yeah, yeah.
A
So
lot of things. That's the thing is Christmas really does have pagan DNA, but a lot of people don't like to know that.
yeah. So we see that Penny says, "Well, I've just bought you and Leonard some neighbor gifts," and this is where Sheldon says, "Well, you're not doing me any favors because you've now given me an obligation
Yeah. I
because
know you think you're being generous, but
yeah,
what you've really done is give me an obligation because now I have to give you a gift of equal cost and value, perceived
yeah."
value
So he's got to
for
try
our
and figure out
relationship.
exactly what she would give him, and try and equal that amount of money. So she says, "Well, no, well then forget about it. I'm not going to give you a gift." And he goes, "Well, no, you can't do that now because I see that elf sticker that says to Sheldon on it. And I like it how when he's talking about this Christmas thing, you got Sheldon, so you got Howard and you got Raz sitting on the sofa, and Howard says, "It's okay, Penny. It's a classic rookie mistake. When I first met Sheldon, and
My
with
first
Hanukkah,
Hanukkah with
he
Sheldon,
yelled
he
at me
yelled
for
at
eight
me for
days."
8 days. Yeah.
And with the backwards and forwards that's going on with Penny and with Sheldon, I like it how the boys start. Well, Raj whispers into Howard's ear, and he giggles and he goes, "Yeah, it's funny when it's not happening to us." So
And then
when
Sheldon turns to them and says, "I'm going to need a ride to the mall." And Howard's like, "Oh, damn, it's
it
happening
is
to
happening to
us."
us, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that whole thing is going a little bit left of center scenario. So the next scene we see is that Leonard is laying in the. We're going back to what happened. Leonard is. No, actually, no, he's not laying on the couch yet. No,
Do
no,
we
he's
need to
not.
pause and go back and rewatch the episode
No,
again?
no, 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 no. I'm trying to work it out because they've got it a bit back to front. So this is where that's right. So this is what we had. What happens is that Howard and Raj and Sheldon go to the mall to go and buy Penny a gift. Now they're in what would argue would be Bath and Body Works.
Okay, they're in a store
Yeah,
called Le Bain Quotidien. My French is terrible. Sorry, guys.
Right,
which says the daily bath, and it's a pun on the phrase le pain quotidien, the daily bread.
right. And they are shopping for a gift, you know, for Penny.
And I love how Sheldon looks around and says, I don't see anything in here a woman would want.
Yeah. Now, and as Howard says, you've got a gift bag here. You got scented lotions. You got candles. You got bath
Bath
bombs. You got
soaps,
you
yeah.
got everything that a woman would want. And he goes, "Well, I've just got no additional data." So he goes, "Look, grab this one. Let's go." And he goes, "You didn't put any thought into it." And Howard's like, "Okay, this one. Let's go." And of course, even Raj says, "If you don't want to buy something here, let's go next door and just build her a bear." To which
I told you, bears are scary.
So, because Sheldon's got insufficient data with what's going on, he then grabs the small basket and because this is where Howard says to the sales lady, "We're ready," and he's like, "No, no, no, we're not ready yet." And Sheldon goes into a diatribe of how it would
Okay,
work.
if I were to give you this
So
basket,
this is where he
what would
goes,
be our implied relationship?
yeah. So this is where he's now
The
talking to
sales
the
girl, the
sales lady.
saleswoman.
Yeah,
And he's like, so here, and he hands her the basket. Are we friends? Are we colleagues?
are we
Are
lovers?
we lovers? And she's like, I don't understand what you're talking about, and you're making me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, because he even says, "Are you my grandmother?" Which, you
Yeah,
know, with everything that he said, there are a lot of people out there, I'm sure, that do a little bit of role playing in the bedroom. And if you've got someone that's standing there going, "Are you my grandmother?" That would be creepy.
that would be creepy.
So no, so this is where we find that Howard eventually grabs the basket out of Sheldon's hand and says, "Okay, this one we want this one," and off we go. The next scene we see is where Leonard is laying on the sofa and he's looking very very upset. And of course, the door opens, swings open, and Raj is walking in with three big baskets. The next person that
Ginormous
come, yeah,
baskets.
the next person that comes in is Howard carrying two baskets. The next person that comes in is Sheldon carrying a small basket and an ice
An ice
cream.
cream. The original small basket that Howard had picked out
Exactly.
with and eating an ice cream.
Yeah. So he says to Leonard that he has solved the penny conundrum. And he says, "Good for you." And he says, "What I'm going to do is when we have exchanging gifts, I'm going to get Penny to give me my gift first. Then I'm going to feign a digestive issue
Issue.
that I may have to excuse myself to go to the bathroom. I'll open Penny's gift and then I will then go into my room, look up what she got me online and work out the closest
The
basket,
price of it, and
you know,
then which one is the closest
and
value
then
to that.
and then go and get the others for a full refund."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Good for you." And he says, "Is it okay if I put the baskets in your room because they make me nauseated?" And he
The
says,
smell.
"Yeah." And he goes, "I don't care." And he goes, "Thank you, Leonard. You're very, very generous." And off we go into the thing. And I like it how through all this, Leonard says, "Yeah, my leg is killing me. Thanks for asking."
Yeah. Yep.
But,
Yep.
so the next scene we see is this is where Leonard decides that he's going to go and he's going to um, confront
Confront Penny.
Penny about
I
what's
love
going
this
on.
scene.
And I'm going to let you do it because you would actually do it better.
Not necessarily,
Here
but
you are.
anyway, Penny, okay, first we see Penny
Hmm.
with a box of eggnog, carton of eggnog, and a bottle of rum. And she's pouring the last of the rum into the eggnog carton,
Hmm.
swirls it around, and takes a sip as Leonard comes in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to know what is going on. And she's like, what? And he's like, you refuse to date me because you keep saying that I'm too smart for you. Well,
Yeah.
I've got news for you. Dave
Lady,
Underhill, what?
I got news for you, lady.
Yeah, I got news for you, lady. Dave Underhill is 10 times smarter than I am. Next to him, I am like one of the gorillas who can ask for grapes.
And you'd have to shove a railway spike through my
I was
head.
just getting to that. Thank you.
Sorry.
But you might as well finish. You started it.
No, you go
No,
ahead.
no, finish it.
Oh God, she's having a shit fit. Um, so it
You're the
says,
one being rude and I'm having a shit fit. You sit there and tell me I can say it and then cut me off.
"I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were going to do the railway spike
Well, you
because
said
he
I
does."
could do the whole scene.
I'm going to let you do the rest
No,
of it
tell it. You started the railway spike. You finish it.
because he does say that next to me, you would have to drive a railway spike through Dave's head to make me be able to beat him at checkers. And Penny is looking very, very upset about this whole scenario of him being um,
And she
confronting.
just looks at him and she's like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And he's like, or no, first he's like, "I just want to know what's up with that." And then she's like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And we come to find out that Dave Underhill is married and forgot to take the nude photos of his wife off the phone before trying to take nude pictures of Penny. And of course, Leonard is like, he tried to take nude pictures of you, and she's like, "That's what you took away from that?" It's like, "Oh, well, he's
The guy's
married.
married.
How that's bad." And then she's like, "And then wait a minute, if you're so okay," because he started out by saying, "I'm okay with the way things are between us."
Yeah.
And then went into the whole "why are you dating Dave?" because he's like smarter than I am.
Mm,
Um, and then she's like, "Well, if you're so okay with everything the way it is between us, then why are you so jealous and mad at me?"
mm.
And he's like, "But that's not the point. He's married, and that's bad."
And like that, Penny goes, "Yeah, good save, genius."
And then he's like, "You know what? It's Christmas. Can't you just give me this one?"
Yeah.
And so she says, "Merry Christmas," gives him a kiss on the cheek, and puts her head on his shoulder.
And of course, this is where Leonard goes, "My leg is killing me. Thanks for asking."
No, actually, he said, "By the way, my leg is fine. Thanks for asking." And you can see him trying not to laugh as he says it.
Mm.
And Penny absolutely can't hold in her laughter because she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
That line was unscripted.
Really?
Yep, that was ad-libbed by Johnny
I
Galecki.
I did because I didn't realize I didn't
Yeah,
realize that they
it
could.
was becoming a running gag in the episode, but it was actually not supposed to be in that scene.
That actually made it quite good because of the fact that you've got that, nobody has asked Leonard how
Yeah.
his leg is.
And this is also the point in the series where we start seeing a recurring theme with Penny of her making bad decisions, blaming Leonard, and then using alcohol when things don't go her way. This is
Yeah.
where that really starts.
But once again, it's that same scenario that I said before is that Penny's promiscuity that she can actually jump into bed with guys very, very quickly, and that is just like my acquaintance that I
Let's
once.
not go there.
I'm just saying that, uses that to get to be with guys, That's the only way that she feels that way. So the next scene we see is Leonard gets a knock on the front of his apartment door. He opens it up and Penny is there to exchange gifts and
With
says
a
to him,
Santa hat on.
"Yes." And she says to him, "How's your leg?" And he goes, "Yes, it's fine. Thanks for asking. Come on inside." And this is where Sheldon comes from his bedroom and says, "Oh, good. Penny's here to exchange gifts." And so she gives him the gift and he says, "Just want to let you know that I've had some intestinal issues. And if I excuse myself, don't be alarmed." So he opens up the gift and what do we get?
Hate it when you leave me in like that.
I'm sorry.
So Sheldon opens his gift, and inside is, oh, a napkin. And Penny's like, "Well, turn it over."
Yeah.
To my good friend Sheldon, live long and prosper, Leonard Nimoy. And he
Hmm.
collapses onto the armchair of the arm of the chair. And Leonard and Penny are kind of looking at each other. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, it's dirty." He wiped his mouth with it. And Sheldon completely freaks out. He's like, "Oh my God, I possess the DNA of Leonard Nimoy. All I need is a healthy ovum and I could grow my own Leonard Nimoy." And Penny looks at him and says, "The only thing I'm giving you is the napkin." And then he's like, "I'll be right back."
Yeah.
And
So
that's
this is
when, what?
Yeah, so this is when Penny sits
That's when
down next to
Penny
Leonard.
gives Leonard his gift.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we talk about what that is, I would like to point out that when she came by earlier, she had two gifts already wrapped, one for Leonard and one for Sheldon.
Hmm.
Now it's an envelope. That other gift is nowhere to be seen.
I thank you. I was wondering where the hell that went.
Hmm. And he opens it up, and it's a gift certificate for motorcycle lessons, which is admittedly
It
hilarious.
is a great gift, but I'm
It is.
wondering, did she end up by looking at the scenario with her and Dave and took that original gift back, got a refund, and then got the gift certificate.
I personally think she stashed it in the closet to use on it for another
Yeah,
day.
probably. Yeah,
That's what I would do.
yeah,
Because that really was hilarious and timely.
yeah, it
And
was.
then Sheldon, this is my favorite moment and one of my top five moments in the entire series. When Sheldon comes back out carrying every single gift basket and he puts them on the chair and Penny stands up and she's like, Sheldon, what have you done? And he's like, I know, it's not enough.
Yeah,
And then he's like, okay, I know. And he comes over and he very awkwardly gives her a hug.
yeah,
And Penny looks at Leonard and she's like, Sheldon's hugging me. And Leonard's like, it's a Saturnalia miracle. I
yeah.
just love
That
that so
is.
much.
And I like it how when Leonard gives Penny her present because he says, "Well, you'll really appreciate what I got you for Christmas." And she opens up her things, and it's 101 science experiments for kids.
Kids.
And she looks at him, and he goes,
And
"No,
he goes,
because
yeah, because you're so into science. Actually, those kits are cool. You can do some really fun stuff with those.
yeah, I've heard that."
Now, I would like to point out that the napkin actually is signed by Leonard Nimoy. There is a photo of Jim Parsons holding up the signed napkin.
I hope to God that he was allowed to keep that, being the fact that he was Sheldon. I hope nobody stole that from the set and have got it in their collection because that would be worth a fortune. And I would absolutely say if I was Jim Parsons, I would actually say, I would like to keep that because I'm Sheldon Cooper and that was sent to me. So that would be really nice if that actually happened.
Oh, I found the picture.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. It's a terrible picture. Um, and because it looks like it was actually taken by Kunal Nayar on his phone.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That wasn't the best
it's a
quality.
pretty bad picture, but I will post it with today's question.
Okay. And so the episode then goes black, and that is the end of the episode. As
Oh, do you realize? Oh, if we should have we should have taken a pause and done this episode in a month's time right before Christmas.
That's all right. That's okay. We've got so much to do between now and Christmas. Today's the 23rd of November, so by the time this drops tomorrow, it'll be the 24th of November, which will be my son's 24th birthday.
He's going to be 24 on the 24th.
How is that possible?
I know, right?
I don't know where 24 years went. I got no idea. But then again, I look at how old I am, and I'm like, I didn't know where that go came either.
Tell me about
So,
it.
you know.
But at least I don't have to be like a turtle on his back trying to get out of my chair.
Yes, thanks to Kat, we went and got a brand new cinema sofa,
It
and
was
obviously the chair,
amazing.
that I'm sitting in. But we got a brand new cinema sofa. So, and I think Rachel actually posted the fact that she said that we deserved it. So thank you, Rachel,
Thanks,
for that
Rachel.
one. But now, and it was awesome because when we actually got the chairs, we actually didn't realize it because you've got the buttons on the side that you press the button and the chair goes back or automatically and closes. We didn't realize there is a USB charger on the side of the chair. How
Yep.
cool is that?
Yep.
So we don't need, yeah, it's just awesome to be able to plug stuff into the chair and charge your phone. That is
Yes,
friggin'
I
awesome.
realize I need to get Paul out more if
I
he's
need to
this
go.
excited about a USB charger.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow being
Well,
the
it
20,
just means that we don't have cables all over the place and power strips and stuff. It's just
exactly.
nice.
But tomorrow being the 24th, we are going to go out to this place in Tanunda,
It's a
South
little
Australia.
tiny country town. It's really lovely.
It is. Now there is two places we're going to tomorrow.
Hmm.
One is the 1950s diner.
Which is
Yeah,
fun.
which is awesome. We're going to go and have lunch there. But we are going to this place called Waller's, and Waller's
If
is
you want to look it up online, Wohler.
yes, and it's a
Yes.
furniture store. But every year they have an awesome Christmas display of all the Christmas gifts all the Christmas decorations you can put up in your home.
When we go down to Victor Harbor, we need to go to the Wohlers down there
Mm-hmm.
because it's like twice the size
Right.
and even more Christmas stuff.
Right.
Uh, and yes, rest assured that I will have Paul's wallet in my bag
The wallet
because
will be
otherwise
given to her.
every cent he owns will be given to them.
Yeah. I am a
A Christmas
Christmas
freak.
I'm a Christmas junkie, everybody. I love Christmas.
Freak.
So, what?
Freak.
You should see what I've got, Cat, for Christmas. If you think that Sheldon lost his shit, I'm waiting to see
Oh,
Cat's
now I'm
reaction.
interested. Now, color me intrigued.
Mm-hmm. You wait to see.
Mm.
When there's a home run, she is going to hit the ball from here to the other side of the earth. Someone in Greenland's going to be sitting, and then this ball will just come bang and hit them on near them. Like, what the hell was that? That was Paul hitting a home run for Cat's Christmas present.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, so no, this episode was really great. It didn't move the characters a great deal along. What it has done, it's solidified, I think, Penny and Sheldon's relationship
Well, I
because
think it also moved Leonard and Penny forward.
a
It
little
opened the
bit.
door.
Yeah, it
It
did
opened
open
the
the door. It
door.
hasn't moved them forward a great deal, but now the fact that Sheldon is hugging Penny, I think the physical intimacy between those two is going to start developing a little bit more
Yeah.
as far as a hug and a high five and whatever. But
But one of my favorite things about this episode is that it has opened the door between Leonard and Penny so that we can now see possibility there.
yeah, because as Leonard says, as actually no, as Penny says, if you're so okay with the way things are going, then why are you so mad at me? So
Yeah.
obviously we can see that Penny's understanding that it's really not okay that Leonard actually wants more from Penny.
Well, no,
In
it is okay, but he needs to be able to say that and not try and pretend that it's okay when it's not.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So Leonard, it's gonna start moving on a little bit more. So the next episode is actually one of my
I
favorite
love the
ones.
next episode.
Yeah. But do we have any fun facts, crazy credits?
Okay, first
Or
of all, we're going to start with our food.
oh yes, food today.
We had one lunch at Caltech, one snack at home, and
Hmm.
one Sheldon ice cream.
You're counting the ice cream?
I'm counting the ice cream. He
Okay.
spent money on it
Okay.
because the way I do it is it's like how much each person would have spent.
Right, okay. I thought it was in like a combined total, but
No.
okay, all right. That's actually a good one. So Sheldon's ice cream. Okay.
Chuck Lorre Productions number 233. Recently, the magazine Entertainment Weekly had an article entitled The 25 Smartest People in Television. Yours truly was ranked at number 20. If the article is to be taken seriously, and God knows why wouldn't any sensible person take it seriously, that means there are currently 19 people in the TV biz who are smarter than me. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here, but if something were to happen to those 19 people, if they were to say they were to one by one have horrible accidents or mysteriously disappear, then that would make me, ipso facto, the number one smartest person in television. Then I'd just have to keep an eye on number 22, Christina Wayne, Senior VP of Original Programming at AMC. She looks like the kind of woman who would stop at nothing to move up a spot. Okay,
Okay, Jack Laurie. Interesting,
okay.
to say the least. Very, very interesting.
His crazy credits usually are.
They really are.
I
They
would
are.
love to have dinner with Chuck Lorre.
Yeah, you've said that many times, but
Well, it's still true.
it's still true as it was the other day as it is today.
Yep.
So, what is our question of the week?
Our question of the week. Have you ever given a gift that didn't land the way you thought? Either like an epic win or an hilarious fail?
Definitely.
Do you have one that didn't land the way you thought?
Oh, I definitely do. And a lot of people, if I tell this story, or when I tell the story, you'll be sitting there going, that bitch. But my ex-girlfriend, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away before I met Kat, way before I met Kat, my ex-girlfriend, it was coming to Christmas time, and of course I go overboard with everybody's Christmas presents because my love language is buying
Gift.
gift giving. And so I went and bought her the only time I've ever seen it, ever. I bought her a clock radio that had a CD player in it. So instead of so you could actually set it. So instead of you listening to the radio when you first wake up,
It's
you could
whatever
put,
music you want.
yeah, so you
Yeah.
could load it up with your own CD and have it. So as soon as the alarm goes on, your favorite
Which
music
is a
starts.
very thoughtful gift.
Right. I thought so too. I gave it to her, and in front of her mother, which her mother should have actually said that is completely inappropriate, she opens up the present, very excited, and she goes, "Oh, this is nice, but what I really wanted was car seat covers for my car. So can you give me the receipt so I can return this gift and go get my car seat covers?" To which I gave her the receipt. To which her mother never said, "That is completely rude. He spent his time thinking about what you might like. You
Yeah.
know, how dare you?"
That's
But
one
no.
thing I will say is Paul is one of the most thoughtful gift givers on the planet. He really puts a lot of thought and energy into things.
So, needless to say, and this was in front of the family, I was
How
humiliated.
embarrassing. Yeah.
And I had never ever seen that thing ever again in any
I'm
store ever.
I'm assuming that you guys broke up not long after that.
It would have been about 8 months later that we broke up.
Really? You stuck around that long?
Yeah, well,
No.
um, but yeah. So she went and got her car seat covers and she put it on the car and she was very excited. And I sat in the car on my Christmas present, thinking, oh, that was wonderful. But, thinking that it would have been nice had she been able to wake up in the morning to
Yeah.
her own music. But yeah, so what I thought was going to be an epic win turned out to be an epic fail and complete and utter humiliation on my behalf. So
Okay.
yeah, what about you?
Okay. Do we have a hilarious fail as opposed to a humiliating fail?
No, that was the worst one. Other than keep on keeping me happy.
Oh,
But
don't even.
but other than that, no, there was no other ones that I've actually had. What about you?
Can't think of anything.
No. I must be the only person with trauma in my life when it comes to gift giving.
No.
No, I do. I go out of my way. If I look, I'm like a vault when it comes to Cat. She will tell me something in February, and I will keep it in my vault till December.
I know. I've got to. Okay. I have to watch what I say around him because if I think something's pretty, a year later, I'll find it. It'll be
A year
given.
later, she'll receive it as a gift.
Yes. And he makes
Same
me
as
look like a real slacker.
same as birthdays. If she says, "Oh, it will actually happen."
Hmm.
But then again, okay, her birthday has been in July. Now, I'm not trying to rush her life through everybody, but I already have her birthday organized for next year. I know what we're doing, where we're going, how we're getting there, and I've already got that all organized. Why do I get it organized so far in advance? Because I love spoiling.
He makes me look like such a slacker.
One day, everyone, you're going to hear a rumble on in the world, and you're going to find out that Kat gave me an awesome present that is just topped everything.
Hey, I have given you awesome presents. I
Yes, you
can't
have.
help it that your sister did outdid me for your birthday.
Oh, yeah. That's a family thing, though.
Yeah, I know, and it totally eclipsed my gift.
Well, it didn't eclipse it. I think
Yeah, it did.
it was a wonderful gift. Look, I had, pardon me, I had not received a gift from my sister in well over 15 years
Hmm.
at all, ever. And my sister said that I've got a birthday present for you, and it was almost 6 months after my birthday that I got the present. And because my ex
No, it
threw,
wasn't that long. It was only like a month or
I
two.
thought it was longer than that.
No,
Anyway,
no,
my ex
because
threw
they couldn't make it to your party, so we went down there like 3 or 4 weeks later.
no, I thought it was later.
Yeah.
Anyway, my ex threw a lot of stuff away of my family, and my sister actually had a family photo album that I had not seen since my mum passed away in 2006. So, and I thought I'd lost it, and or my ex had thrown it away. So my sister actually gave me that plus a picture in a frame of my mum's wedding day with my grandmother and my mother, and then with my uncle and my grandmother, my uncle and my mum as well. So
And One
in.
other framed picture.
Oh, yes. The other frame picture was myself with my cousins and my grandmother. So it was my sister, myself, my two cousins, and my grandmother.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing gift. So, after not getting a gift from my sister in 15 years, that emotionally was, yeah,
Yeah.
very, very beautiful.
And it completely eclipsed what I gave him that year.
I'm sorry. But that's okay because that's the last gift that's the last gift that my sister will give me. So you're free and clear now. For all the other gifts, you're free and clear.
And
So
yes, because people are probably going, well, what did you give him? I gave him a portable spa.
yes, she did, which was awesome and amazing, and I loved it.
We didn't use it nearly enough before the mold got to it
Yeah.
because we
So
had drained it out and then not gotten around to refilling it, so it got moldy
yeah.
and we had
So
to throw it out.
had to throw it out, but
Yeah,
that's
we
okay.
only used it like 5 times.
Yeah, but that's okay. It was 5 wonderful times. So
That means it was like $100 a dip.
no, that's okay. That's fine. But that's okay.
But yeah, my present was nothing by comparison.
It was, it was everybody. It was just, they were both thoughtful. Kate got me a spa, and my sister got me something that meant a lot to me, with regards to my mother and my grandmother. So it was, yeah. Oh, it was. Anyway, next week we are going to be doing episode number
Season
12.
2, episode
Episode
12,
12.
and this is one of Paul's favorite, the killer robot instability.
It is
Monty. We meet
Monty.
Monty.
It is really awesome. I
And
love
Barry
this.
Kripke's
And
back.
Barry Kripke's in it. But no, I like this next episode coming up. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you're sitting there going, well, hang on a minute, I've answered all these questions. Why aren't you guys saying what I'd answered? Well, as I said, we're going to do a mailbag in December, so you'll get to hear all the emails and all the questions that
Yep.
you've actually answered. But as I said, the 20th of December is the cutoff time for the Christmas giveaway. So if you want to be part of the Christmas giveaway, please, please, please send me an email, put it in the, comment section of Spotify saying that you'd like to be part of the Christmas giveaway.
Or on the Facebook page or group.
Yeah, yeah, or the Facebook group. Because yeah, we would love to have more than one person, because at the
Mhm.
moment she's winning, that would like to join in and get a prize.
And we'd like to thank Sarah again for the coffee this week. It is
Yes,
much appreciated.
we actually had an
If
extra
you
one.
are enjoying what we do here and would like to send us a coffee, there is a PayPal me link pretty much everywhere. You can email us at
Perpetual Motion Squad 00, that's the number 00 at gmail.com.
you can there's a PayPal me link on the about section of the page and the group. There's a
Hmm.
PayPal me link in the Spotify comments, and I think there should be in the YouTube comments as well.
I put it in the YouTube one as well, so it'll be
Yeah.
sitting
Okay.
there.
So it's pretty much everywhere. If you'd like
Yeah.
to show us a little holiday appreciation
Show a
and
little
send us a
love.
coffee, whether it's $1 or 1,000,
Yep.
we're happy with
But
everything in between.
we were really, really thankful, Sarah, that you gave us some coffee money. Really appreciated. We
Yeah,
actually
we
really
get
enjoyed.
really excied when we see
Yeah,
coffee money.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
really and we don't use it for anything else but coffees. A lot of people sit there and go, oh well, I'm if they get a donation, whatever, they sit there and do it. No, we actually go out and actually have a coffee on
Yeah.
you.
And toast you.
Yeah, we toast you.
And we do the happy dance when we get the notification that someone has sent us coffee because it means that you are showing that you are loving what we're doing.
Yeah,
And we intentionally do not do sponsors
or
because we
pay
want
or
to, we
yeah,
don't do we don't do advertising of any kind
no.
because we want to keep this free for you because it's a labor of love and a passion project, not a moneymaker.
Exactly. So that's why we will never do what was the other one that we do that other people have done. But anyway, there's another actual oh God, it starts with P. Anyway, there's another part of it that you can actually do.
Patreon.
Patreon, thank you. Which is actually, they a lot of people sit there and say, well, if you subscribe to that, you'll get behind the scenes stuff, or you get an extra episode. No, my
Yep.
theory is we're paying so much for subscription TVs,
Yep.
and if you've got a subscription to Spotify, we don't want
And
you to pay for us.
And we don't want to we don't want to exclude anyone. We want it
No.
to be accessible to everyone who loves the Big Bang Theory. So like I said, if you just want to show us a little love and say, hey, thanks for all that you do with the podcast and the and everything, here's a
Yeah,
coffee for you. So
yeah,
that's the only. Eventually, we might actually have a merchandise store. We're working on that.
maybe.
Uh,
I'd actually like a sweater,
yeah,
a hoodie.
I'm working on putting together a store. So hopefully in 2026 we'll be able to launch that. But otherwise, we're not looking to monetize this.
No, we just
We
love the fact that people keep coming back to see us.
Yeah, it's a passion project. So we want to thank you for being part of the PMS family. If you know anyone who would enjoy this as well, please invite them because the more the merrier.
Hmm.
If you haven't done already, please give us a like and a review wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Spotify channel. Um, and yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, huh?
We have 10 people.
Yay! On
10
the on
people
on the YouTube
on
channel.
YouTube. Yep. 10
Okay.
people are watching us.
Yep. So, yeah, so please leave us a like, a review, and a subscribe.
Yep.
And next time we will see you for season 2 rather, episode 12, The Killer Robot Instability. And in the meantime, we'll catch up with you at the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye everyone.